This is a little accumulation of images I want to share with you guys. This may be how some of these images you might identify with. They might make you remind you of how you felt during different periods of the pandemic. You know, I think about early in the pandemic, last February, March, it was always like, every time I feel a tickle in my throat, I was wondering if I was sick. You know, it was scary there for a little while at the beginning, because we didn't know how contagious it was. When you work from home and somebody wants to video chat, this is how I feel a lot of times. The pandemic impacts animals. So day 18 of lockdown filled the dog with helium. After 2 weeks of not going out, the animals come to check to see if everything is okay. I don't know about you, but that would scare the bejesus out of me. Puns are fun even during a pandemic. Why don't ants get sick? Because they have little antibodies.
Wow.
Just had that be my one thing, and just let that be the whole thing. The very real impact that the pandemic has had on our hair, I think, is worth mentioning. How we're all going to look after 18 months of cutting our own hair. This is a self-portrait of me yesterday. And this is next year's school pictures. I don't know if this guy looks homely or not, but extra credit for anybody that can mention.
I can see them. I got to read this anyway.
Oh, okay.
Extra credit for anybody that can mention what movies these were a part of.
Waterworld?
No, it was The Road Warrior.
Oh.
Yeah, good try though. Close. Metaphors for 2021. If 2020 was a slide. That's a good one. Yeah. Scary. 2020's Elf on a Shelf just arrived. Feelings you may have had during the pandemic. Watching Netflix for 36 hours straight during the quarantine. I know that. I didn't notice all the toilet paper behind him during this time. I wonder if that was product placement. I never saw that before.
Too on the other side.
After washing your hands for 20 seconds, 57 times in one day. This is another, you're working from home and your boss messages you about doing a Skype meeting. It's kind of a repeat. Life is a highway, and then 2020 came along. I think this is a good metaphor here. Demonstrative image. Stop driving with your mask on. I think, aren't we all guilty of this? Like, you just forget to take the mask off when you get in the car. I see it all the time. Are you going to come back? ET knows. It's not a good, not a good time. This is you on the way to Hy-Vee. Milk, eggs, bread. Cinema is closed until real life doesn't feel like a movie.
Oh.
I think this was particularly true yesterday. Don't stand by me. Bad masks. These are bad masks, or are they? I don't know what was going on here, but let us all remain calm, as this just might be the tip of the iceberg. That just looks uncomfortable, doesn't it? Oh, it's got to be wet. This was interesting. This guy, this literally, if you look closely, this is an effective mask. I mean, he's got a pot lid and a hoodie. There's no way any of that saliva is going to get outside of that. I thought that was pretty great. Now, this is a real thing. There's dogs that have masks, and people put masks on their dogs. There's a bunch of images on the internet of this. This is not a one-time thing. So I just think that's hilarious. Look at the boots he's got on too. This is a whole ensemble. And we got a coffee filter. That was kind of good. We're at the end. The solution. We all want to know what the solution is, right? So we all want to know how to get out of this. Well, I'm no expert on COVID-19, but this is the cure. It's a band. For everybody who's younger than 45, it's a band that was from a long time ago. I'm watching Rebecca going, I don't understand. And finally, to make us all feel better, Chuck Norris has been exposed to coronavirus. The virus is now in quarantine for the next 2 weeks.
I understood that. I got them all.
So, the humor for today. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.